Hey party people, Royalivi here with episode 7 of Season 2 of the Sorare Road to Glory. Now, usually I spread these videos a bit further apart, but as you might be able to tell by the title of the video, I finally upgraded my America Limited lineup with some big additions to the club. I've stopped being a tight bastard, and I've started being the right bastard, so we'll take a look at my team for Gameweek 266 in good time, but first, let's have a look at the results for Gameweek 264 and 265. Starting with Gameweek 264, and for anyone who saw last episode, I actually used a random wheel to pick my Gas 4 team. It was truly revolutionary Sorare content, groundbreaking stuff, and to be fair, the wheel did bits. Sort of. I mean, as you can see, absolutely smashed the second threshold, but came up just shy in my pursuit of a tier 3 card. Unfortunately, we were really close, and ultimately I was let down by tier 3 Hartberg being shit as usual. They lost 3-1 to Admiral here, and... wait, what the fuck? It says here they won 3-1. Yeah, I think the delusions are back, Doctor. My symptoms? Well, I'm on Google right now, and it's saying TSV Hartberg won 3-1 last weekend. Really? You're sure? TSV Hartberg won a game? Oh shit, fuck me. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I love you too. Bye. Well shit, lads and ladies, this is not a drill. TSV Hartberg have actually won a game. I did watch this on Bet365 as well, and I have to say Hartberg were the better team for the full 90 minutes, even before Admiral got a red card, so glad to see them finally pull their finger out. Tadic did a goal, and Keynes with a decent score, contributing to smashing that second threshold. Sugawarden obviously did fantastic, what with him being the best player in the world and all. So in the end, I was actually let down by Sean Nealis' fascination with giving the ball away, so that cost me a card here, but overall, hey, the main aim is to hit 250 points, and the wheel came through with the goods, so I have no doubt in the future we will be seeing the wheel again. It'll get another chance to prove its worth to me. I then also won a reward in Challenger Rare as well. I know, I'm as shocked as you all are. I'm hitting thresholds, winning rewards, and buying cards. We must have entered some kind of parallel universe or something, for fuck's sake. 321 points was enough to squeeze into that tier 3 ranking by the skin of my teeth. No, I'm serious, Doc. You can Google it. Teeth don't have skin. It's not that I don't trust you. Why are you being like this? Not only did Hartberg win thanks to a Jurgen Hell goal, but Fortuna also won, obviously thanks to a Zian Fleming goal, so big wins for my relegation battling players. Mitzo doing bits for AZ since coming back from injury, so that's really nice to see, and then it did get quite dicey towards the end here, but I did manage to hold on for that tier 3 card. If Sweet hadn't conceded in the 92nd minute, it would have been a completely stress-free wait, but hey, I can't expect Hartberg to make things too easy for me now, can I? In Gas 5, I was then somewhat close to a reward, but it was a bit too pedestrian of a game week from a lot of the lads selected here, and then in Challenger Limited, I gambled on Chatsdiakos starting as Martins Indy had been out with injury, so naturally Martins Indy was fit to play and Chatsdiakos didn't get on the pitch, but no harm done as I wouldn't have got enough points with my next option playing anyway, so no dramas there. And then this America Limited team was sort of a strange one. I did just enough to edge into the very bottom end of those tier 3 rewards, but I spoke about this team last episode and I literally said almost verbatim that I'm really happy with Stuver and Cascante. Przybyłko has been a bit shit but will likely start, and Pineda and Jimenez will get around that 45 to 55 mark, and like clockwork it all played out exactly as I expected. Strong performances at the back from Stuver and Cascante at Austin, banging season for them so far. Przybyłko did start but did fuck all as I kind of expected, and then middle of the road performances from Pineda and Jimenez, so yeah, basically a verified psychic now, so for my next prediction I'm getting something. Shiny Ashiki will become good at football. You heard it here first. I've got a feeling that prediction won't come true, but hey, we'll see how he does in the next few game weeks, eh? Basically, I'm done competing for the bottom end of rewards in America Limited. This game week woke me up to what I could and should be competing for. I've seen the light, I've spoken to the light, and the light said, Royalivi, stop being a little bitch and go and buy some good players. So that's exactly what I have done. Carlos Gill for 0.225 Ethereum and Thiago Almada for 0.112 Ethereum. Welcome to the club, lads. And you know what? I mean, not cheap really. That's almost £800 on 2 limited players. But as I've always advocated for with Sorare, you have to look at the long-term picture. If we have a look at Almada, we can see his scores can be somewhat inconsistent in places for the price, but he is capable of hitting those 70s fairly often, and I also like that I can lob him in an under 23 team if I ever want to. Long term, this essentially sorts a strong America Limited midfield out for me for the next 2 years at least, so if we have a look at Carlos Gill, so 5 scores, I mean, fuck me, without question, the best MLS midfielder in terms of so 5. I mean, look at those scores he's posting, and it's not like he's doing it every few game weeks, he does it almost every game week. It's more of an anomaly when he scores below 60 actually, so although expensive, he is the right way to go if I'm looking at really pushing this America Limited team to some high scores. I then also bought a Ruidaz to act as a filler until I can get my hands on a Jerusi Limited card. His price has dropped in recent weeks despite him having a decisive in 3 of his last 4 games, so I thought, hey, let's grab him and get him in the team as Przybyłko isn't quite cutting it at the moment. And then I also grabbed a Lewis Morgan for 0.02 Ethereum, the Scottish GOAT returns to the club, and then the creme de la creme of MLS forward Sebastian Driussi, my main target. And yeah, I couldn't get his limited card before the start of the game week. Driussi's new limited versions have been quite pricey. They seemingly have a game week 266 tax on them, but he is my main long-term target for my America limited team, a big part of FC Austin's form this season, so hopefully next video I will have him added to the club. Fingers crossed all these purchases work out, and you know, hey, if they don't work out, they don't work out. I've had my fun and made my profit with Sorare already. I try not to invest too much emotionally into maximizing profit and shit like that. Obviously nice when you can, but I think for me the right mindset going forward in running my account is, you know, just being a bit free of it, being a bit loosey-goosey, and hey, the game collapses tomorrow, then I won't lose any sleep over it. I mean, I might lose a little bit of sleep over it, a tiny bit. But enough rambling on, let's have a look at these rewards then for Game Week 264. Oh my god, wow, a shitty tier 3 limited card, amazing. Oh my god, wow, another shitty tier 3 card, but this time he's rare, as these Behic, I mean, we're pretty much fuck all at the current time, what with European leagues ending and all, but hey, if we check his scores, we can see he did get a decent amount of game time this season, and on his price graph, he was previously around that 0.06 to 0.7 mark, Ethereum-wise, so maybe I'll be able to sell him closer to that next season. If not, he can just be an option for my Gas 4 teams, I suppose, and then of course, the 0.02 Ethereum, happy days there. Now let's look at Game Week 265. Hartberg had what was for me probably the biggest game for my account since I've started Sorare. I mean, I have along the lines of $1.5 to $2 worth of TSV Hartberg players in my club, and this midweek game against Altac could basically be a relegation decider. But you know what? Was it ever in doubt? I've never had a bad thing to say about Hartberg. And they came through big time. Granted, the ref gave a penalty and a second yellow card to Altac, which really helped out the situation at 0-0. Bit harsh on them, honestly, but hey, I'll take it, no complaints here. Tadic buried the penalty, and then Aiden and Paintsel went on to complete the route. And speaking of Aiden, I don't have his card yet, but I think he could play a big part for Hartberg next season, so I'll probably look at getting him in the off-season to add to my Hartberg collection. So yeah, this was all great. The somewhat frustrating thing, however, is that Tadic was my only decisive out of all 4 goals. I mean, Ghana won a penalty as part of my limited team, but in the rare team I chose Mizell to play over him instead, so that essentially cost me a tier 3 card there. Whatever, no drama. Now, I was watching the game, and I have to say Canes and Hale were pulling the strings in the middle, they really were. Canes must have pre-assisted every goal for fuck's sake, but hey, pre-assists don't count as decisives, although they fucking should. So yeah, great win for Hartberg, but overall the SO5 score perhaps left a little bit to be desired, which leads me on to next season's tactic. With Gas 4 needing 5 rares come next season, I think the Hartberg lads are the perfect stack for me to put into Gas 4 for threshold hitting purposes. Never really going to push on for rewards, but always a good bet to hit those 250 points for the 0.02 Ethereum, so that's my long-term plan with this team. And then the AZ lads will likely go into Challenger if I have another rare goalkeeper by the time next season rolls around. Got a few months to sort that all out, so that's a problem for future Royalivi, but in the meantime, let's check out what shitty limited card I'm going to win, and then my teams for Game Week 266. Alright, I actually won what I consider to be a very good tier 2 reward, Pepe of Porto. Not the angry one, this one, and looking at Sorare data, I can already see he's worth more than the rare I won last game week, so that's nice. I think when the season comes around, he could be a very useful asset for me, and he'll also likely be worth over £100 at that time, so this is what I was banging on about in terms of getting some strong limited teams. All it takes is winning a couple of tier 1s or tier 2s, or maybe even a star limited if I'm lucky, and the investment will be recouped and then some. So yeah, no complaints, very happy here with this reward on top of the 0.02 Ethereum. For Game Week 266 then, here's my teams. I've gone for a common in goal in Chesney for this game week in Gas 4, and then the usual AZ lads with Fleming up top. Just be happy to hit that second threshold here again, so fingers crossed for that. And the reason I have common Chesney in goal is because I've got my Brad Stuver rare in the specialist division this week. Have to have 2 players under 40 in their last 15 games, and that is Cade Cowell and my boy, he's not my boy, Andre Shiny Ashiki. Now, Cade surprises me a bit being under 40 in his last 15 as I rate him as a player. Perhaps he's just not really had the game time he needs at the moment. And Shiny Ashiki, well, yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. But, you know, I've made my psychic prediction that he is about to hit some form. So if he's starting, you can bet your bottom dollar he's banging in the goal this week. I can feel it in my hearts, lads and ladies. I really can. Limited all-stars, then a bit of fucking everything. Not terrible though, so perhaps some chances of this team doing something. Although apparently Raheem Edwards is now a left back and not a forward. But hey, there you go, at least he's playing. And then the big one, America Limited, new signings Carlos Gill and Thiago Almada are in, and Rui Diaz, yeah, he's not got a game, you know. I bought him for getting that Seattle in the CONCACAF Champions League final, so Kasper Przylka will be going up top this week. Hopefully he can turn from a big shitter into a big hitter. Oh, and I also have this Underdog Limited team out. I mean, it's not going to win anything. Most of these fuckers will be on the bench. But hey, if you don't buy a raffle, you don't win the ticket. So yeah, thanks for watching and all of that jazz. I did want to get another Ultimate Champions video out after buying some packs from their first drop. But hey, they had a bit of a disaster with that one. I couldn't get my hands on any packs, so maybe next time. But in any case, do subscribe for more blah blah blah. And I will catch you next time.